Hello guys, and welcome back to an episode of Cities Skylines with me, Pug Gaming. Now with Christmas drawing ever closer, I thought I'd do a very short series based on a Christmassy town. So the first job was to find a suitable map, and I found this one off the workshop, which is absolutely amazing. It's got some great sort of foliage and hill areas. I've also put on the snow terrain theme as well, so we both get the snow on the ground, and also with the dynamic weather we're getting the snow dropping down as well, which really does create the scene I'm going for here. So it's a big map, but I only want to concentrate on one little area for now, and this bit here looks perfect. I like the way that we've got this little area. I've done a little bit of terraforming, but it's a nice little area we've got here in the sort of nook of all the surrounding mountains, and I'm thinking we'll have a little town village here in this bottom corner, and up the hill we'll do a few other little houses, but I just want to make it look quite isolated and very Christmassy. So we'll jump into a short time lapse just whilst I map out the road layout, and we'll catch up once we begin working on the town. Okay guys, so that's the main core of the road system laid out, and I want to start with a church. I'm not sure why. I'm not religious in any way, but in terms of Christmas, it always makes me feel a church is a good starting point to create a Christmassy scene. You always see on sort of Christmas cards, etc. There's normally a church in the background with all the snow covered over the top of it, and I think it's just a good focal point to start on an actual town design. So we're going to work on this and detail this down a little bit more, and this is where we're going to pretty much kick things off. And also just like to plug quickly my 4 competitions I've got running, 2 of which are currently running as we speak now. The first one is to win a copy of Cities Skylines, the second is to win a copy of Snowfall. So guys, check the other videos out for this and get in with a chance of winning a early Christmas present. But anyway, back to the church design. So the way I like to design, which is a little tip for you guys, it's the way it works for me, but I like plopping down a building and then think to myself, how can the story be told with the surrounding area? So with a church, I've got in my head now there's got to be a wall around the side where we're going to have the graveyard, and also a little car park on the other side, which, you know, is very common in churches. You're going to have a car park of some description there, so you just want to really help what you show tell the story, I guess is probably the best way I can describe it. And once you've got that idea in your head, all you need to do then is pretty much find the correct props you want. In this case I'm going for a bit of a old sort of stone wall around this church. The actual church itself lends me the sort of idea that that's what sort of wall should be surrounding it, but if it's a more modern church you're probably going to have something different. If it's an old abandoned church you might even have a wall, but just use your imagination to really sort of excel what is available on the workshop itself, and just let your imagination and what you put down tell the story. That's the best advice I can sort of possibly give out to you guys. And as you can see, me personally, I don't like to use too much in terms of straight design building. So with these walls, I like the idea of having this curved road and the actual walls following around. There's not too many places in the world that you'll find places that have 90-degree sort of bent walls, etc. It's a lot more, in my eyes, realistic to have something that's not quite perfect and it just lends itself to its realism in my eyes, especially if you're looking to design a sort of British layout. It's very rare you'll see something so sort of grid-like in this sense, and that's what I enjoy building. It just makes things a lot more appealing in my eyes. So another thing, going back to the sort of story of your design, you also have to make sure, in my eyes anyway, that it's realistic in terms of what you're trying to show off here. So in this case, we've got the walls around the outside. There won't be any entrances there, but I'm thinking about this car park. So the car park also will need a wall around it, and we need a few ways in here. So the first one obviously being the main entrance to the church door, and also the entrance to the car park, as well as a walkway beyond that to get back into the church. So you just got to think realistic. How is this going to work? How would it look in a real life scenario? If you had just a standard grid wall around this church with just the door entrance, fair enough, it would still be realistic, but in my eyes you won't find too many churches like that. There's always got to be a car park of some description nearby, especially for a church as well. People need to get there and park up, etc. So it's just thinking in a bit more detail, I guess, guys. That's all you need to do. Now, like I said, this is a Christmassy town, so we're going to start early doors here and we're going to plop down a Christmas tree. So what my concern and issues are at the moment with the workshop is there are a couple of Christmas trees and they are very pretty, but they don't have any that have any realistic sort of flashing lights that you would tend to see on a Christmas tree, especially in a town or sort of city centre, to really show it off. So what I'm looking to do here is show you guys a couple of ways of how you can light up your own Christmas tree, and the main way being is pretty much just plopping your own sort of lights inside. And the good thing is when you've got the mods required, such as prop snapping and move it, you can place any light inside the tree itself. So what I mean by this, if you keep watching here, as you can see, as I go up, we're able to plop this on the highest point of the tree. So in this case, where the star is, we're going to add this yellow LED to bring out the feeling of having these lights here. Or sorry, having a Christmas tree light on the top. Now the only issue is there's only two that I've found so far, flashing lights, which I believe are probably used for the airport. But they are only two colours, so I think it's a red and is it yellow? Let's have a quick check. The red and the blue. Is it blue? Red and yellow, I think. So even though we've only got two colours, as you can see here, all you've got to do is pretty much just prop them in around the tree as if you're decorating your own tree at home. Make sure you distribute them in a nice way so it doesn't look a bit too overcrowded. And do the same with the other colour, which is it yellow? Orangey yellow, yeah. So we add this in as well. And as you can see, it's starting to come alive now. So in a nighttime theme, which is what I'm sort of going for here, a snowy, Christmassy nighttime scene, we're able to really bring this Christmas tree alive. And what would be good is if someone else created on the workshop a few other colours of these LEDs to really excel and make it look a little bit more realistic. I guess having just two colours isn't that realistic, but we're able to create something from nothing here, and it looks a lot more, in my opinion, like a Christmas tree. So as you can see now, in my opinion, that looks a lot more realistic. And what we've got left to do now is I want to create this like a little town focal area. So when the tree isn't here, it's a little area for people to go. And all we need to do now is just prop some gates around it, put a few benches on there as well, and I think that's going to conclude this little Christmas tree area as well. There's not that many Christmassy props on the workshop, and I understand why, but it would be nice if there was some more. So we're just making use with with what we've got, I guess. The fact we've got the snow terrain theme really does help anyway. It looks Christmassy, whatever, in my opinion, when you've got snow around. But that pretty much concludes the first episode. I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. I'm going to leave you with a little overview of what we've done today. Remember to check out the competition on the Pug Gaming website. And other than that, guys, I will see you in my next episode. Thanks for watching. All the best.